Hey everyone, so today I have an Arabic inspired makeup for you. It's just inspired by elements of, you know, that beautiful stunning Arabic makeup and Middle Eastern, even Persian makeup. I did kind of tweak it a little bit just to make it a bit more individual, but I really did want to just play around with makeup, do a really dramatic look. I haven't done something like super kind of non-wearable dramatic in a long time. This is definitely something you could wear out to a party or something though, but obviously it's not like an everyday makeup. And I wanted to really have that structured liner and all that kind of stuff. So I hope this video doesn't turn out to be too long. We'll have to see how we get on with the editing, but of course there'll be a full list of products as usual on the blog and all that kind of stuff. Thanks a million for watching, guys. So as is per usual with such a smoky eye, I'm going to be doing the eyes before I go onto the skin. And I started off by applying a kind of a goldy bronze cream eyeshadow over the lid, using my fingers just to get it onto the main lid, and then buffing it out with a synthetic brush. And I brought it right up to the brow since it's going to be such a full-on look. Next I pressed a gold powder eyeshadow onto the centre of the lid, and then pressed an even lighter, brighter iridescent shadow right in the centre of that again to make it even more dimensional. I applied some of that same cream eyeshadow underneath the lower lash line using the very tip of my finger, so it wouldn't go down too far. And then I applied a slightly brighter gold to the very centre, so as you're looking straight ahead, right underneath the pupil. And this is one of my favourite kind of smoky dark eye looks to do. So I started to apply a dark brown to both the inner and outer corners of the lids. And this really adds such a cool look to the eye when it's so bright in the centre but slightly darker either side. And then I mimicked exactly what I did on the top lid onto the bottom lid. So I did the same either side of the iridescent gold, and really started to darken this, and then I pulled it up at the outer corner and started to create a slight wing shape and started to build up that brown into the outer corner. Next I started to apply a really intense matte orange eyeshadow into the crease and really high up towards the brow as well. This not only really brightens the look, but it also makes it look much more exotic. I really love this colour scheme. And then I applied an even brighter orange gold above this again. This is just to smoke it out, but it also creates a really lovely gradient up towards the brow highlight. This kind of look is all about building layers. So I applied a matte black eyeshadow next onto the outer corner of the eye and really started to work this into the crease back and forth just to make it really intense. And I did try to make it quite intense on the inner corner as well, so it's not just the really dark outer corner that I kind of tend to do in most of my looks. And really just have to kind of blend as you go along to keep this quite neat, because it could get quite mucky if you're not careful. And I applied some of that same matte black eyeshadow to the inner and outer corner of the moving lid to make this even more kind of exotic and dimensional looking. And I did the same again on the bottom lid, mimicking the top lid, so black either side of the gold eyeshadow. Next I got the brighter gold orange that I had used up near the brow bone and used this to brighten the inner corner. And then again went back into my black eyeshadow and started to almost carve out very lightly the inner kind of peak that's going to go on in there in a while, and then highlighted the very inner corner just so that it's not so dark in around that area. I'm using two colours in the waterline, so I start off by using the lighter gold colour first directly above where the gold eyeshadow is, and then went in with the black kohl pencil either side of the gold. Eyeliner is really an integral part of this kind of look as well, so I went in with a precision eyeliner pen and started to apply my regular eyeliner first of all over the top lash line, so nothing too special as of yet. Then I started to work on the wing on the outer corner, and I wanted this to come up from the bottom lash line, so it is quite low down and then it goes up into quite a long wing and peaks or tapers at the very end of the tail. And then for the inner corner, we do this pretty much the same thing but on a much smaller level, smaller scale, and just wing this down pretty much following the top lash line. So it's almost the opposite of what you did on the outer corner, and bring it in then to meet the lower lash line. To soften the look of the eyeliner, I applied some more of that matte black eyeshadow with an angled brush just to the bottom to smoke it out a little bit and make it so that it wasn't so harsh. We're all about the drama with this look, so we definitely didn't want to skip false lashes. So I applied these carefully using my tweezers, and then once I was confident that they were in place and they weren't going to lift, I applied some more eyeliner over the top. Sometimes when you apply lashes, they can slightly distort the eyeline shape because they can kind of pull on the top lash line. Then I applied some mascara just to fuse my own lashes in with false lashes. But when I was doing mascara on the bottom lid, I was just very careful not to apply it to the center because that would kind of ruin the whole effect of the gold in the center. Once the eyes were finished, I cleaned up any fallout underneath the eye area and reapplied concealer. And then I used this concealer and the brush to really clean up underneath that wing to make sure it was really dramatic and well defined. Then I did apply my foundation and concealer and powder, but I didn't show that here because you've seen me doing it a million times before. But another really defining feature of this look is the eyebrows, or are the eyebrows. So I made sure that I definitely defined them and made them stand out without thickening them too much. So you just want to make sure that the line is really crisp and that they're very, very neat. You don't want these to be wild or too natural looking by any means. And then at this stage, as usual, I always apply my lip primer because it gives it a chance to set before we get onto the lips in a while. For the skin, I'm not going to be applying too much colour to the cheeks, but I applied some contour to the cheekbone area and also down around the nose, because this whole look is all about definition and about structure. So I wanted this to just apply to my nose as well, even though I nearly always would apply contour to the nose area. As with the cheeks, I didn't want to apply too much colour to the lips, so I kept them quite subdued and neutral with just a brown shade lip pencil. And I did overline my top lip before applying another kind of neutral enough lipstick over the top, first from the bullet, and then I perfected the shape using a lip brush after. So there you have it, guys. There's my Arabic inspired, like full on dramatic makeup look. There will be, of course, product list and pictures over in the blog, like I said before. And if you do like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up and share the video if you think your friends might like it as well. And thanks a million for watching. So I'll see you all in my next video. So long, guys.